Can you still buy a boat for under $1,000 in 2026? Or maybe a boat and a motor, and maybe brand new. Also used, what would that look like? What kind of boat and motor could we possibly buy for under $1,000? Could we also maybe get a trailer? Can we actually get something good for under $1,000? We'll cover all that and more in this video. First thing we'll do is I have my computer right off screen here. We're going to go into Google and we're going to type Jon Boat for sale. Why did I use the term Jon Boats? Because a lot of people actually use that term for small boats, even though Jon Boats are typically square front or whatever. But a lot of small boats, everybody calls them Jon Boats. All right, let's see what comes up in our search results. Here's our sponsored products. The very first thing we have is this classic dinghy for boats by West Marine, $569.99, $570. The next one is this Sun Dolphin American 12 Jon Boat. This is a plastic Jon Boat, and wow, right now it is $550. I've never seen it that cheap before. That's the cheapest I've ever seen it. That's from Tractor Supply Company. And then a very similar 12-foot plastic Jon Boat from Bass Pro Shops, the Prowler 12, which is $649. That's probably more like the regular price for those. I think these actually were more expensive maybe a year or two ago. I can't believe that something's actually gone down in price, but I think these things were about $699 last time I looked at these. That doesn't matter. We clearly see that we have three right here that are below $1,000. Let's take a closer look at this West Marine classic dinghy. So it's $569.99. So it's $570. This is a plastic boat that has a pointy bow. It's actually a nice little boat. It's a molded plastic boat. I think it's got styrofoam or something in between the layers. I've seen these at the West Marine stores. They're very small. This thing is 9 feet 9 inches long, and it can handle a 2 horsepower maximum outboard motor, which means what you can do is you could put a very small gas motor on here, small electric, or a trolling motor. And for a little boat like this, just to scoot you around, those kinds of things could do really well. But remember, this video is about keeping under $1,000, so we're not going to look at any expensive motor packages for something like this. These also can be rowed, so you'd have to buy oars and oar locks to be able to row the boat. 55 inches wide, and its capacity is 458 pounds, people and gear. So if you and your buddy each weigh 250, you're going to overload this boat. So, keep that in mind. Just so you know, West Marine also has other small plastic boats below $1,000. And then they also have a fourth one, which is this pedal boat with a canopy, $760. Here's the Sun Dolphin American 12 Jon Boat, 2-person fishing boat. And say right now, $559. That is really cheap. Boy, that's tempting, just to go get one. And this is a Tractor Supply Company. And this is another molded plastic boat. It's longer than that West Marine boat, a little bit more capable. Matter of fact, it is rated up to a 6 horsepower outboard motor, 40-pound thrust trolling motor. It weighs 110 pounds, and its capacity is 532 pounds. So you can put more people and gear in this boat. So you're getting more boat for, well, right now, because it's on sale for, about the same kind of money. Also, farther down on the page, it shows me some other options. So it shows me the $699.99, like I mentioned before. That's what these all used to go for. And then right now they have it on sale in camo for $559. And then there's this little 10-foot sportsman boat that's $584. That's got the chairs that sit up high. That's a short, square little boat. I haven't seen many good reviews of that boat out there. Same with the other one, $539, and then that one's over $1,500. And the Sun Dolphin Water Tender, which is $559, which is very similar to the West Marine one. I think Sun Dolphin actually makes these for West Marine. So there are other options from Tractor Supply for some small boats under $1,000. Now let's go to Bass Pro Shops. Bass Pro Shops has the Prowler 12-foot Jon Boat for basically $650, $649.99. And I'm not sure, but this seems to be made of the exact same mold as the one from Sun Dolphin. I think there's one plastic mold making these 12-foot plastic boats, and everybody just rebrands it and has it molded in a slightly different color with a different logo slapped on the side. They say it weighs 110 pounds. I think that's the same as the Sun Dolphin. Max weight capacity 532. They do not say what type of motor you can put on here, but I am sure it's a 6 horsepower, just like the other one. So if you like one of these little plastic Jon boats, there are other people who have videos about these boats out there. They're kind of ribbed on the bottom. They're okay. You could do worse. And there's a lot of them available out there from different resellers, different brands, different names, but they're all the same. So all of those boats are plastic. And one of the things people always wonder is, well, can't you get a brand new aluminum Jon boat for under $1,000? Well, Bass Pro Shops sell this Grizzly 10-foot Jon. This is a 10-foot aluminum boat. The 2026 price of this boat is $1,570. That includes $75 freight to get it to where I live. So online, it's $1,495. So it's not under $1,000. That's the 2026 price. They also still have up the 2025 price, which is $1,295, or to me, it's $1,370, meaning this boat is still over $1,000. And that's the 10-foot, and that's the cheapest aluminum boat that I could find out there. So there are no aluminum boats we can get brand new for under $1,000. So boats also can be other kinds of things. They could be inflatables or kayaks. Let's take a look at some kayaks you could get. This is from Bass Pro Shops. As you see, they have a variety of kayaks available for under $1,000. There's actually, I think, 6 or 7 of them here. And let's just take a look at this one right here. This is the Ascend 12T Sit on Top Kayak Fishing Package. Ooh, I wonder what comes in this fishing package. So as you can see, it's a 12-foot sit on top kayak. It has storage in the front and the back. It looks like it comes with a paddle and a plastic crate. Is that really what you're getting for $750? You're getting, yeah, that's the extra stuff that you're getting. You're getting a paddle and a plastic crate. If it was a plastic crate filled with goodies, you know, like a PFD and, you know, a whistle and, I don't know, something else, you know, some sunblock, some sunglasses, you know, rod holders, I don't know, something. No, it's just a plastic crate. That's a weird package deal right there. Okay, let's move on to Amazon. A lot of people shop from Amazon. These days, I don't think Amazon is your best prices for a lot of stuff. You have to really dig into Amazon to get the best prices. But we're just going to take a quick look around and see what we see. Here is a Pelican boat, the Intruder 12, a Jon fishing boat. It's $680. That boat is exactly the same boat as that Sun Dolphin and the one from Bass Pro Shops. Still under $1,000 though. And if you wanted to get individual kayak from Amazon, here's a Pelican Catch Mode 110 for $679. It's a very cool looking fishing kayak right there. And then here's something funny that just came up in my search for small boats for under $1,000. Licardio folding fishing kayak portable modular fishing boat for 1 to 2 persons, $399. This is the exact same boat that Luke McFadden bought and did a review of over the summer, and I think he paid $7.99 or $8.99 for it. And just so you know, in Luke's video, he did not like this boat at all, and I do not recommend this boat. He found it to be very flexible, and it took a long time to bolt the 4 pieces together. It leaked water at every one of the seams, and when he put the very front and the very back, it made a really, really short boat. He had a lot of fun with that, but that was dangerous and wasn't safe. The advantage is it could possibly fit in the back of an SUV because it comes apart in 4 sections. I do not recommend getting one though. And then inflatable wise, Amazon has this Sea Eagle 285 9-foot pontoon fishing boat, 1 person. Comes with that nice chair, and you can see there's a little mount in the back where you could put a probably a trolling motor. behind you, and that is $799 right now. If you paddle these things for $800, you're on the water. We have seen that there are brand new boats available for under $1,000. Every one of these is a plastic boat of some kind, and basically only suited for 1 or 2 people, and a very small motor, and it's really not very customizable. Because those molded plastic boats, you know, there's not much you're doing to those. I mean, you can maybe screw some things to them, but you're not doing a lot to those. All of those boats, even the plastic Jon Boats, could technically be paddled, and some could be outfitted with oar locks to be able to actually row the boat, for anybody who actually still wants to row a boat. Can we stay under $1,000 and put some type of motor on these boats? So let's look at some motor options here. Matter of fact, Bass Pro Shops sells a Bass Pro Shops Jon Boat package, which is kind of a cool package idea here. They've got Minn Kota trolling motor, 30 pound of thrust trolling motor, low-backed plastic Jon Boat seat, swivel clamp mount, a Garmin Striker 4 fish finder and GPS plotter with a 3.5-inch color display, and a deep cycle battery for powering the trolling motor. So that's kind of a cool package there. They sell that whole package for $500. However, our cheapest boats that we saw were more than $500. So if you bought this package and the plastic Jon Boat, even if you got it on sale for $550, you're still $50 over $1,000. But this is a neat thing. So, you know, hey, if you got a little bit more than $1,000, you might save some money buying their little package here. Let's go to Amazon and take a look at some other motor options. When I go to Amazon and I look for small outboard motors that are under $600, these are the options that come up, and this is what most of you will see when you look for small outboard motors on Amazon. I have made videos about the Hankai brand and these other small Chinese outboard motors. I do not recommend them. There are people who buy them and have been happy with them. There's some people who go out a couple times a year and this works for them, or they're very handy with figuring out how to keep one of these running, fix them up, find aftermarket parts whenever they need them. But I do not recommend any of these small gas outboard motors. I think that all of them are very noisy, unreliable, and poorly made. So instead, let's do a search on Amazon for trolling motors. So here's some of our results for trolling motors. I like trolling motors because if you're just getting into boating, it's a very slow, small, easy to work with, easy to operate electric outboard motor. You're going to only go about 3 miles an hour. So for a new boater, you're not getting in any danger by speeding into anything, but it's not going to get you in trouble unless you go out in bad water. And it's something that in the future, if you go to buy another bigger outboard for your boat, you can still use this trolling motor as your backup motor to get you home, or for what its intended purpose is, which is for trolling. So like whenever you're fishing. So a trolling motor is really a good investment. And as you can see, you can buy new ones for well under $200. These are the ones on Amazon, but I like this one here the best from Tiny Boat Nation. This is the Newport NV Series trolling motor, 30-inch to 36-inch shaft. The nice thing about the Newport NV Series trolling motors is they are saltwater friendly. Minn Kota, if you want a saltwater trolling motor, you got to pay a lot more. All of their low-cost trolling motors are freshwater only. And the last brand new Minn Kota motor I bought, it made a noise right out of the box. It was the prop. I had to do some sanding on it, but I got the noise to go away. But I like these Newport NV Series trolling motors because they are saltwater and freshwater, not expensive at all. This is a 12-volt, simple trolling motor and 36-inch length shaft. Gives you enough room to mount it on any of these small boats. This would work with any of the boats that we looked at just now. I personally would power this with a lithium battery. Now, I've made a video about the dangers of lithium batteries and electric trolling motors. In a nutshell, the primary danger seems to be when you run at the top speed for a prolonged period of time, these trolling motors can be damaged. It's still going. This has just been sitting here running at speed 5 now for quite a while. In my test, I wasn't able to damage it, running it at the full speed for a very long period of time with a Redodio battery. I like the Redodio batteries. They make a dedicated trolling motor lithium battery. This one here is $200 and it's Bluetooth. I have one that's not Bluetooth. I think the non-Bluetooth version's maybe $10 or $20 cheaper. I think it's worth it to spend a little bit more for the Bluetooth. This is a 100 amp hour battery. You can be using this with your trolling motor and you know how much battery life you have left at any time by picking up your phone, using the Redodio app, and it'll tell you your battery life remaining if you buy the Bluetooth version like this one here. And also the other advantage of the lithium battery is you get a 100 amp hour battery that doesn't weigh much at all, especially compared to a lead acid battery. I do have a discount for Redodio. I'll put that in the video description or comments or whatever if you want to use my discount code. They also have discounts on their site. Do what's best for you. Maybe joining their subscription thing or whatever makes it cheaper than my discount. Maybe my discount helps. Maybe you buy it through Amazon or a third-party seller, or you don't even buy Redodio. That's fine, really. So let's add all of these things up. So let's get our West Marine dinghy right here, $570. Add our Newport 30 pound of thrust trolling motor, that's $170. Add our Redodio 100 amp hour battery that will scoot you around for several hours with that trolling motor for $200, and your total is $940, meaning you got a boat, a motor, and a battery for under $1,000. Do you have a trailer? No. Do you have all your safety equipment? No, but you probably could get your PFD and other safety equipment that you need for daytime running and still stay under $1,000. Registration fees varies by state and varies by the type of motor. So that's new stuff. But what about used? Like, you probably can get a lot more bang for your buck used, right? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to just shop on Facebook Marketplace. That's where most of the stuff seems to be nowadays. It might vary in your area. If you're in Canada, what is that, Kijiji that you guys use? And other areas of the country, people might still shop more on Craigslist. Where I'm at, Facebook Marketplace seems to be the place to go. And what you can do is you can put in a radius and a dollar amount, and it's the winter right now, so it's the off season, meaning there's less things for sale, but sometimes there's better deals. So I'm up to a limit of $1,000, and here we go. Let's start with this one right here. This is a boat and a trailer with titles for both for $1,000. Because in Maryland, that's important. If I want to register the boat, I need a title. And if I want to drive it on the roads, I need to register the trailer and I need a title. And it has a motor that ran a few months ago but turned off. Boy, that looks like the old 7.5 that I used to have. The guy wrote 50 to 1 on here, so it's an old Mercury 2-stroke. And as you can see from this picture, this boat is not anything to write home about. It's not a good looking boat. This picture here shows that it's missing the little aluminum cap for the bow right there, but once again, that's not the end of the world. It's got a bow eye, but a little bit of paint and cleaning up in this boat would work just fine. Could look good. And it can go out probably as is. It's got water in it, so we know that it's probably seaworthy, because if it's holding water, that means it should be able to keep water out of it pretty well. And if you're handy, you could fix that motor. So if you could fix that motor, if you could get it running, or you had a friend who could get it running, you've now got a boat and a motor and a trailer for $1,000. And it looks like it might be a 12 or 14 foot boat. It doesn't say. That's not bad. That's not bad. And that's our first one we clicked on. Let's go way down here for something really cheap. How about, how about this? All right. Here is a $150 Jon Boat. Never used it, bought it from someone used. Send him questions. It looks actually like it's pretty good. I've owned uglier boats than this. You know, it may leak a little bit, but it's an aluminum Jon Boat and it's only $150. Now, in Maryland, it doesn't have a title. Some people go to the DNR with a bill of sale and those kinds of things and get a title for one of these pretty easily. Other people have problems. It really depends on the state that you live in and what the rules are for those. I recommend looking up the rules in your state and digging into that a little bit. I like that for 150 bucks. That's a neat little aluminum boat. And it's been on the market for 8 weeks, so, you know, there's only 2 pictures. Don't know what it looks like inside. Here's one, a 1979 Sears Game Fisher for $350. Comes with the trailer, and he says he has the title. So he might not have a title for the trailer, but he's got a title for the boat. Now this doesn't look too terrible. I don't think it comes with that ladder, unfortunately. I like ladders. But look at the back of this boat. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like the transom's been redone with a whole lot of resin. It looks like somebody reinforced the transom with some plywood and a whole lot of resin and stuff. It's still got the hull plate on there, but that looks pretty janky. This boat's seen better days, but it's a fiberglass boat, a 14-foot fiberglass boat with a trailer for $350. I honestly wouldn't be afraid of that. It might be waterlogged or whatever, but it's a $350 boat. It might be the one to get you out on the water to see if you like having a boat or not. You have to look at this as an expense that you're not going to make money off of unless you really put some money into it and, you know, happen to get lucky, like buying in the off season and then selling at the peak of the season and painting this up a little bit. You know, maybe you could sell it for a little bit of a profit, but we're just looking for getting out on the water, not for flipping boats. Here's another one. Oh, I like this one a lot. This is a 1969 Crestliner 15-foot boat for $650. Notice they call it a Jon Boat. And, you know, people will argue all the time. It's pointy in the front. It shouldn't be a Jon Boat. This should be a utility boat. Aluminum 1969 Crestliner V hull, 15-foot long, doesn't leak, always kept under cover. I have a clean title, selling just the boat and keeping the trailer. For my asking price, I'm also able to deliver the boat within 30 miles of Pasadena. No trades. Yes, it's available. That's a good-looking boat. So it's got some wooden benches. So if those aren't in great shape, it looks like they might be easily replaced because they're just kind of wooden planks going across. They're probably screwed or riveted down. It's got some cup holders in there. I see some oar locks. Transom looks okay. I wonder if it comes with that little Garmin that's there. And I don't know what the box is that's below the seat, but maybe that's a battery box. Wouldn't mind having an aluminum boat like that one again. I like that one. Let's take a look at some other things here. Maybe we can find something with, you know, a trolling motor and a trailer or something, like the whole package for under $1,000. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, what's this? 10-foot Traveler Jon Boat. Comes with motor and battery. Says it's a great boat. He's got a little video on here. I'm not going to show you the video. 10-foot, great to get out and fish the flats or have fun and enjoy the water. Pretty fresh paint and not bad condition. Comes with a 40-pound thrust trolling motor, battery, and battery charger. Everything you need to enjoy the water. So it's a 10-foot boat. So it probably could fit in the back of in the bed of a truck. It's a square Jon Boat. However, the stickers on here look like they say NY. He does not say if he's got a title for this. I wonder if this boat was originally registered in New York and he moved to Maryland. But either way, it comes with a Minn Kota trolling motor, battery in the battery box. Maybe it comes with the paddles. That's ready to go. You're all done, $700. Here's another one. 13-foot Mitchell boat, fiberglass with a clear title. Has 2 swivel seats, only used a couple times. That's a nice looking boat too. Look at that, it's got a compartment in the middle there. Probably comes with that free PFD, so you don't have to buy one of those. And I only see 1 swivel seat, but he says it has a couple of them. $400. You put a small used outboard on the back of this, or the trolling motor and the battery, and you're good to go for well under $1,000. I'm not going to keep looking because obviously this stuff changes every day and it depends on where you live and what's available in your area and the time of year. As you see, there's a lot out there in the used arena. Just be very careful that you're getting something with a title if you need to in your area, if you're going to run it with a trolling motor. And think about getting something that you can upgrade in the future, that you can do more with. For example, with a lot of these boats, if they can be powered up to a 6 horsepower and you start off with a trolling motor to keep you under $1,000, in the spring or summer when you have some money, you could buy a 5 or 6 horsepower gas motor, either new or used, put that on there and you've got a lot more boat. You could maybe even find a used trailer somewhere or a new trailer, or building your own trailer if that's allowed where you are. Now you've maybe got a $2,000 setup where you've got a nice boat with a nice little motor and a trailer, everything you need to go fishing and enjoy the water. And I didn't cover all of the different kinds of options and varieties and things that are out there, but it proves the point. You still can get a small boat with a motor, get out on the water for under $1,000 in 2026, which is amazing, I think, considering how much everything else is costing nowadays. And a lot of times you can sell this stuff for very similar to what you have already spent. And that's kind of cool too, because you're not really losing a lot of money. Now, granted, some of these plastic Jon Boats, the ones that look all the same, you're not going to sell it used for what you can get it new because anybody can go buy a new one of those. So you're going to lose a few $100s when you go to upgrade the boat. That's kind of the price you pay for being able to get out in the water. It's not about making money unless you're making money with your crabbing or fishing that you do from your boat. It's about getting out in the water and having fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll put some other links in the video description and maybe in the comments to some other playlists and content that I have about these kinds of things. Some trolling motor information and other shopping links that maybe can help you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Wayne the Boat Guy, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm going to go back and look at some of these used boats that are for sale because, I don't know, I haven't bought anything in a while. Thinking about it.